What's up, world? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Adam B.
And I'm Sam D. And we are Two Scoops, an inspired duo set up by the man above to inform and shed light on the general misconceptions of health, nutrition, and fitness.
So with roughly a decade of combined experience, we've clocked in over 40,000 work hours, plus never-ending research on and off the clock, and spoken to over 100,000 people.
Averaging 50 to 80 encounters a day, and have heard almost any and every question in regards to health and athletic performance.
So with our like minds, we decided to join forces and share what we hear and experience on a day-to-day basis.
Many people are misinformed about health, and they are just looking for the truth.
But can they handle the truth?
Our mission is to educate people not just how this stuff works, but to inform people that there are thousands of natural remedies.
Most of these remedies were actually discovered thousands of years ago that are backed by today's science. We take everyone's health concerns seriously,
including our own. So take what you learn from this podcast and please share the health as well.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thanks for joining us. This is Share the Health, episode number 002. I'm Adam B. the Scoop with the cat eyes.
Ooh, I like it, cat eyes. Since we're in the holiday season, I'm in a giving mood. I am Sam D. the Scoop that keeps on scooping. Can't get enough of me. And we go by Two Scoops. On today's episode, we will be covering CBD, aka cannabidiol, which is a phytocannabinoid sourced from hemp that interacts with our endocannabinoid system.
Canna what?
Is that too much? Sounds like a foreign language, huh?
It's a whole lot of big words, man.
We got to stay tuned before we dive into this whole wonderful world of hemp. But first, this is not intended to be medical advice. We are not doctors.
This is for educational purposes only. If you choose to implement any of this information presented, then please do so at your own risk,
or with the assistance of a licensed medical professional. And a few things before we get started on this specific episode with CBD, because of all the talk about it and all the new legalities as of 2019. We will continue to update you more along the way. But as of today, we're in late December 2019 here in Houston, Texas. Everything is legal to speak on.
Yep.
Anything you want to add to that?
Like you said, as things change, we will update. As you know, we're in Texas. It's legal here. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be illegal here. So no. What we do is we'll update you guys, for legalities, different studies, the safety, different feedback. But yeah,
because it's here.
It's
not going
here.
away as of this moment.
Yeah.
It's on every local corner, grocery stores, supplement shops, smoke shops.
Yep.
I'm selling it, so hit me up if you need some. No, I'm just playing. I'm not selling this stuff. Sally Sue down the corner set up with her lemonade stand. She's selling it. So yeah, it's here, man. Episode 002 though. CBD. Adam B. Broski, how you feeling, man, this afternoon?
Pretty good, man. Thanks. It is. We're recording in the afternoon.
A little different.
So it is a little different.
A little more awake though. A little more lively.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Definitely after this cacao and coffee, I'm feeling great.
Yep.
And a nap earlier. Been up since the wee hours. I'm feeling good, man. So CBD is our second episode, and we chose to do this early,
right?
Because you're probably going to see it everywhere you go. So that's part of the reason why we're doing CBD, so early in our little podcast episode.
But it's also going to be early and often.
Right.
So this is not the only episode y'all will probably hear or listen to.
This is for sure a series.
View. Yeah, it's going to be a series, man. It's going to be a trilogy. What's after trilogy? It's a saga. It's going to be a saga, CBD saga. Talking about Star Wars earlier. It's going to be the CBD Star Wars saga.
How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man.
Sound jacked.
Yeah, I'm wired. Anytime we're talking CBD and cannabinoids, I am all in, bro.
Yeah.
Plus, we both came back from our vacation, so we both feel pretty well rested. Mm-hmm. But I think the statement stands that I need a vacation from my vacation.
Wow.
Kind of hectic, man. Family every day, itineraries.
Right. Full-blown itinerary.
Yeah, kind of threw off our scheduling to do the podcast. But we're here, so I cannot complain. We're 2 episodes in before the new year, so
Yep.
shout out to us.
Shout out to us.
Yeah. Celebratory toast.
Cool.
And we've already been sipping, but our favorite hashtag is what is in your cup.
So, no surprise here. What's in my cup is the norm. Homemade bulletproof coffee, black coffee, grass-fed butter, seasoned with cinnamon, sea salt, and honey, which is lower on the glycemic index. It hits about a 50. White sugar hits at a 100. In this case, 100 is bad. The lower the number, the better. So that's what's in my cup, man. What are you sipping on?
I am on... Might as well go. Can't have a CBD episode without some CBD infused tea.
Yep.
Shout out Ma. Not my mama, but this mama.
This Ma
infused CBD infused tea. I believe they're using green tea, oolong tea. This particular blend is a focus blend, so they're a little bit of caffeine naturally sourced, some rhodiola, some theanine, things that kind of give you mentally in tuned, sharp focus, and high attention rate. So when we're all about that during these episodes, because I got to be.
Thanks for letting me bum a sip.
Oh yeah, stole a little bit from me.
That's refreshing.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's what's in my cup this episode, man. Second hashtag. What are those?
What are those snacks and sups?
Yes, sir.
Also, no surprise on my end is going to be cacao in my little cup, my cacao cup.
And it's in your coffee, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you had both.
No, possibly. And then my supplementation game right now, since I already did my AM supplements and we're looking at about 3 p.m. right now.
Yep.
I do my multivitamin midday. So right now I have a multivitamin from V-Thrive, and it is it's legit.
Shout out V-Thrive.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. And then I have my Bacopa, my acetylcholine boosting herb.
Yep.
That it is a go-to. I rarely miss a day. In fact, I usually do it twice a day. So right now, this is what I'm doing. And then, I already took my magnesium L-threonate this morning.
Oh yeah.
And I know you're also on that one too. So
on it.
Huge fan. That's staying in
every day. I'm on it.
That's part of my daily stack now. What do you got over there, man?
So my early afternoon, mid-afternoon stack right now is second dose of vitamin D, because I'm still aiming for about 10,000 units a day of vitamin D.
Okay.
My other gram of omega-3 fish oil, my magnesium L-threonate.
Okay.
I took my whole food multivitamin this morning, and I'm also on my this is my second dose. Yeah, second dose multivitamin. I'm sorry. This morning I did my cognitive enhancer, like I said, the GABA, the glycine, and the tyrosine, to give me like that mental yet calming yet alert state of mind. So bottoms up.
There we go.
And we will be in the future, if not for this episode, we're going to be posting our what's in your cup hashtag and hashtag what are those on our Instagram pages with more full descriptions on why we take these supplements.
Yep. And what you'll notice if you keep up with that is that, like most people, they change.
Yep.
They'll change. Sometimes we'll skip them. Sometimes we'll try new things. A lot of times we'll take the same product.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll take different products. And a lot of it has to do, in general, same thing everyone does. You read about it. You hear about it.
Right.
That's the first part. The second part is, well, let me try it and see how it works with me. And that's why we pretty much land on these, the handful that we have each, is because it's like we notice it without it. So we prefer life with those handful of pills.
Yep. And everyone's different. So we like to experiment. We like to try new things that we can speak on to the general public in terms of the benefits surrounding these supplements. And the supplement world is always changing.
Always.
It's a massive industry. So we're always trying to find new brands, new concepts, new formulations that work well for our daily needs. But going into this episode, 002 CBD. So we ended digestion, right, with a hell of a cliffhanger. Speaking on CBD found in breast milk.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and dive into that breast milk, Adam B. Go ahead, man.
Splash.
Take a sip of that.
Okay. So, last episode, we left a cliffhanger about, CBD sounds like it's new, right? Everyone's seeing it. It's the craze. It's the buzz. CBD, as you mentioned, stands for cannabidiol, which is a cannabinoid.
Right.
The one that's sold in stores is a supplement from plants and the term for plants
is a phytocannabinoid. So if you ever see phytonutrients listed, or see that terminology, that's talking about an origin derived ingredient from plants.
Correct.
Whereas we have an endocannabinoid system where endogenous human beings found within our bodies. The chemical and molecular structure of CBD is the same. It's just where it's derived from.
Right. And so the CBD in mother's breast milk is an endocannabinoid, like he said, endogenous, meaning produced from within the body. And so the infants that are breastfed are getting, if, the lactate, if the milk is, complete, almost like a complete multi.
Right.
If it's complete, then it has cannabinoids, and the child is getting CBD pretty much from birth.
Yeah. And what's the importance mainly? So we're looking at neurodevelopment.
Okay, so
stimulating proper appetite, which
correct.
then can enhance growth development.
Right, because you can't grow if you don't eat.
Right.
Or in this case, supple.
Supple, yeah. Supple those
I think
nipples.
you sup.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Supple, yeah.
So that is that's the answer to the cliffhanger from our first episode, is that, if you're breastfed, guess what? You've already had CBD in your system. There's receptors in our bodies ready to receive it.
Right.
By the way, shall we go ahead and kick off the fun facts?
Jumping into the fun facts, like every episode, we want to keep y'all's attention, keep y'all in tune. So we like to start off every segment with some fun facts. Adam B, what's your fun fact on CBD, bro?
So my fun fact that is, I don't know if it's that fun, because it's kind of scary. Because after doing research on this, we realized that there are very strict policies for these farmers that grow hemp. So did you know that in order to grow hemp legally,
right,
it must maintain 0.3% THC or less on all the samples? All the samples. If anything registers above 0.3, the whole crop
in flames,
demolished, seized, burnt. They don't burn it, but it's deemed not worthy for public consumption. It's pretty much deemed illegal, and the farmers are told to destroy it. Which, this is the not so fun part, this can cost the farmers anywhere from 20 to 40 to 50 grand.
Oh my god!
And just think of all the labor and time.
Yeah, labor, time. You're destroying.
Oh my god!
Or just the waste of a superfood.
Why did I pick that as a fun fact? It's not fun at all.
That hurt. My heart hurt, man.
It's interesting.
It's like just made me depressed.
Yeah, I'll just call that a fact. No fun.
Just a fact. Yeah.
And what is yours, man?
So
bring us back.
My more fun. Yeah, my upper fact. Bringing us back into this. CBD was initially discovered in 1940.
What?
So we're talking just roughly 80 years ago?
World War II?
World War II times, man. They were doing some CBD to calm their nerves before
for real,
things blasted off.
Yeah.
But then it was not until 1963 before it was fully isolated and understood from a scientific and molecular standpoint.
Okay.
And then a little further down the road, around the time I was born, 1992, I was 89, but I was 3. 1992, the endocannabinoid system was discovered to be a fully functioning system within the body.
That is pretty cool.
And all this happened within just 80 years, man.
Yeah.
So it's it's new, but it's not.
Right.
So what's the best way to break that down? As you mentioned, World War II.
It's new to the masses, right? So
the general public is just now being introduced to it. Like
general public who would never look up anything about a human body system, anatomy, just the general public that goes about their day-to-day life, that, this, I don't remember being taught this in school about endocannabinoid system.
Never.
But in the future, it probably is going to be addressed.
For sure, man.
So that's why it's we say new to the general, but not so new to people that have been, researching this, obviously.
No, we go back and forth on this all the time. We say it's a functioning system. So we have 11 organ systems in the body.
Correct.
We always kind of put that out there that this could easily be its 12th, the 12th functioning organ system. But yet at the same time, it kind of falls within a few other systems, like the endocrine system, central nervous system.
Endocrine would be hormonal
relationships. Central nervous system for neurological and cognition.
Neurological nerves.
And then lymphatic for boosting immunity.
Lymphatic.
Or helping regulate specific immune cells. Yeah. So it kind of falls into these different branches. So like you said, this can easily be found in a science anatomy book in multiple chapters.
Yeah.
Hitting it from all angles, man. So it's
especially now that it is legal on a federal level.
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead, but we'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah, about to be there. We're there right now. What is CBD, man? What's this? What's all the hype about, man? Why is it so popular?
So as Sam mentioned, cannabinoids are not new.
Yeah.
It is old news to those that have been exposed to it. But to the general masses, and what we're talking about is like you'll be driving down the road now, especially here in Houston.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I see it even more now than I did even, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is ever since it got approved.
And we're talking roughly 6 months ago. 6
Yeah,
months ago.
June 10th.
Yeah.
June 10th, 2019, Greg Abbott passed a law and approved it in the state of Texas. So from then, it's been like this,
Massive
mad
craze.
dash.
Yeah.
And every company, every storefront that sells this, what they're doing is they're being smart and they're changing their storefront signage and their advertising. They're putting these 3 huge letters that you're going to see now, CBD, which stands for
Adam B, Sam B.
stands for
Cannabidiol.
Cannabidiol. And so you'll see those 3 letters pretty much everywhere you drive now because it's so popular.
Yeah.
It's being marketed
It's
heavily.
And there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to that, right? So
Well,
we're
right,
looking at
right.
it's
You
a
have
super saturated market.
right. You have everyone has it.
Right.
Okay, but now there's like, well, what's the standards? What's
the
the
quality?
regulations?
Yeah, regulations.
Yeah.
Is this legit?
Right.
Is it hemp seed oil? Don't be confused about hemp seed oil.
Right. So how many CBD is what?
Right. So we already mentioned it's a phytocannabinoid found in hemp.
Mm-hmm.
There is marijuana-derived CBD, but throughout this entire episode, we're going to be referencing hemp-derived CBD.
And both are what? Deemed what species? Cannabis.
Oh yeah,
Sativa.
cannabis sativa. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
So
Drawing a
some,
blank.
no, yeah. So some people when they see this, yeah. Sorry, real quick to interrupt.
No.
But this is a huge misconception too
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't. I mean, I didn't really fully understand until like maybe 9-10 months ago, where it was like, okay, well, you got marijuana and you got hemp,
Mm-hmm.
and when you see pictures of both, they do look similar. You know
They
what I
do.
mean? There's slight variations, but to the untrained eye,
Yeah.
you don't know that you're looking at a hemp plant or a weed plant or
Right.
you know what I mean? You don't know what you're looking at. So what is it called? Genus, the proper genus species title,
Botanical species.
botanical species is cannabis.
Yeah. Right.
So when you hear CBD cannabis, the ones that are sold over the counter and the ones that we're talking about today
Yeah.
are derived from hemp.
Hemp.
And
Thank
so
you. Yeah, that was we
was
had
that-
to, we had to get that in there.
okay, yeah. So
Because you're not going to the store. You're not purchasing marijuana.
right.
First thing people say, man, so y'all are selling marijuana now?
Right.
Or, man, this store is selling
Yeah.
the store is selling marijuana? Like, no, we're not. But, so to get back on track, so there are, and this number does fluctuate. I mean, we're talking about a year ago, maybe 2, it was said that there were over 60 different active cannabinoids found within hemp. And then about a year later, it's like, okay, there's over 80 active cannabinoids
Ooh.
within hemp.
Even more.
And it's like, 6 to 8 months later, it's like there are 113 active cannabinoids found within hemp.
That's a specific number.
Yeah, that's very specific.
Yeah.
100, you go from 60 to 80 to 113 and a half.
Yeah. That's
You got vitamins naturally occurring, minerals naturally occurring, healthy fatty acids. Another thing, terpenes, which are the active aromatic, it's almost like essential oils that give off these beneficial aromas that interact with our brain waves.
mm-hmm.
That's why, like, a lot of times you might see CBD to diffuse, like in a essential oil diffuser,
Mm-hmm.
because even though we're not ingesting it or putting it on our body, breathing it in is still kind of enhancing more so like those brain waves and neurons in the brain to give off some of that calming effect, or stimulating if paired with certain oils. So yeah, it easily can be classified as a superfood, easily. A lot of benefits. Like we were saying, hemp seed oil is like omega-3, 6, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever we're talking CBD, that's coming more from the stalk. It's
Correct.
coming more from
Different part.
different part of the stalk, the
Mhm.
stem, the leaves, and things like that, not the actual seeds. And then jumping into CBD, how we can benefit and why do people actually benefit from it? It's because we actually have these receptors,
Okay.
and a lot of people get caught on with THC. THC actually latches on and interlocks like a key in a lock almost.
Okay.
THC gets into this receptor
Mm-hmm.
and binds to it, and that's why people get that psychoactive high feel.
Right.
It's because it's almost manipulating your body's natural way of functioning.
Right.
CBD doesn't actually key and lock into these receptors,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of pairs along the side of it
Mm-hmm.
and interacts and regulates into the word of the day, homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
What's homeostasis, man?
Homeostasis, the proper definition
The proper definition
is pretty hardcore.
needs a definition.
Right, yeah.
That's how complex it is.
We're going to summarize it because that's pretty much what we do. And homeostasis is all about bringing the body back into balance, to a proper equilibrium, meaning it won't make you drowsy, it won't make you hype. It's going to put your body at a comfortable middle ground. The term even keel, for those that are familiar with that term, that's the best way to describe what the intended goal or the intended result of taking CBD is that even keel, homeostasis. Just, I don't even want to use the word chill because chill sounds closer to drowsy,
right?
But it puts you in a comfortable, I would like to use the word adaptable.
There we go.
You feel very just ready. I mean, when I say that, this is from personal experience, right? So when we speak on the feeling of CBD, we're speaking on 10 plus months of our own usage. By the way, I know you can say this too. Never once have I gotten high from taking CBD.
Never.
And there's certain periods, as you witnessed, I was taking massive amounts. I never got high, not once.
Never got high, man.
So
and
yes.
going back to the drowsy feel on the market. I mean, we'll probably dive back into this later on, different like key point, but
yeah,
there are other formulas out there where companies will pair CBD with other herbs that might make you feel drowsy.
Right.
There are like natural sedative herbal approaches to like sleep, like valerian root, chamomile, passion flower, that are almost like muscle relaxers. So pairing that with CBD, you might get kind of drowsy depending on the dosage. It might knock you out a little bit, but just CBD straight up by itself, nothing else with it. Yeah, like you said it perfect, man. Like a subtle, mellow state of mind at that complete equilibrium where you're just calm, cool, collected. Nothing can bother you. No irritation.
Yeah.
That it's like the engine's running, just everything's oiled up, perfect, lubed. You know what I mean? You're just going through the motions, man. We're jumping on the receptors. So we have two different receptors, right? There's CB1 and CB2. CB1 is more found in the nervous system. That's more regulating mood, motor skills, memory, hormonal release, how our body perceives pain. So the pain perception. And then also appetite. Like we mentioned in episode 1, digestion starts in the brain. That's where appetite's released from the hypothalamus. And then CB2 receptor is more abundant. There are more of these receptors throughout the body from head to toe. And this is more going to be regulating a lot of immune functions. It's more abundant in our lymphatic system, which is going to be, what else did we learn? 80% of the immune system is found where?
In the gut.
Right. So we're talking spleen, liver, the skin, which is our first line of defense, right?
Yeah.
So the gut, that's where like a lot of the CB2 receptors are found, even, I mean, from head to toe, really. So that's why a lot of people that take CBD usually see a benefit from taking it. You don't really hear like a lot of negative feedback on it. And if people do, they're probably just not taking the correct dosage for what they're trying to achieve from it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't just take 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams.
Right.
You might need 30, 50, 100, depending on the health condition you're trying to cope with. So
exactly, because you're supplementing like the whole, obviously, common sense definition of supplement is that you are supplementing something that your diet is lacking.
Right.
Now, crazy fun fact that you may not know, certain foods contain cannabinoids. Why is hemp
seed?
Why is hemp the chosen CBD guy? Why?
Because of the concentration.
Because of the concentration.
Yeah.
The amount of
abundance.
CBD that is in hemp is why it is so popular and pretty much the chosen supplemental form is because it has the highest concentration. And
even like your
foods,
cacao,
there
are cannabinoid-like substances found within cacao, I want to say there are some also found in
Is that why I love
flax. Yeah, I know, right? That's why you've been hooked your whole life.
I need CBD.
Cacao, flax seeds. I want to say maca root. There's some ginseng roots that actually have cannabinoid-like receptors in them as well.
Okay.
So a lot of other options, but marijuana being very, very low CBD, high THC, whereas vice versa for hemp, very, very high CBD, very, very low amounts of THC found. So the people that are mainly asking about CBD, right? What are the three main benefits?
Three main benefits that we see, we hear, and we've researched on studies would be anxiety.
Number one.
Sleep.
Yep.
Pain, chronic pain. And I think we've both seen anxiety for sure is like number one. It's like
the number one disorder in America right now.
Right. I don't want to use the word epidemic.
No.
But there's a whole bunch of people suffering from anxiety, man.
Right. It's like a common diagnosis now, man.
Like people
it's like either cancer or anxiety. It's like that's what you have.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that what we both found a study. It said, I think, based on like where they conducted this, it said 60% of the people that were actually purchasing CBD was for anxiety-related conditions.
Yeah. 2/3 of the requests were all based on anxiety.
Yeah.
And so anxiety, the best way to describe it, if we go back to homeostasis, if homeostasis is a straight line, then anxiety would be that crazy jagged, when you see like an earthquake, whatever that little paper thing is that measures the waves.
Forgot the name.
How it's all going. That's kind of anxiety, mentally, physically, neurologically. And so CBD, it's not guaranteed to level you out, right? There's not that guarantee, but there's massive amounts of information, studies, testimonials, me and this guy right here.
Plenty.
Where it does help to bring you back to that more calm, straight line. So
Christmas tree analogy. Man.
Christmas tree analogy.
Break it down. Since we're in the holiday season.
Okay. Well, alley-oop me, man. Set me up.
All right. Throw the lob for the slam dunk. So whenever we talk like full spectrum, broad spectrum, CBD isolates.
We actually haven't mentioned that yet.
No, we haven't.
We haven't.
Right. So let's go ahead and dive into that real fast.
Yeah.
Before I, set the assist up for your Christmas tree analogy.
The CBD, supplement, you're going to see two main categories of CBD. One is going to be the full spectrum containing, all cannabinoids.
Yep.
And then you'll see a broad spectrum. Now, broad sounds like it's fuller. Full is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Broad is the more narrow. I know it sounds weird.
It is, yeah.
Broad spectrum will be the one that's more marketed for people that are trying to avoid THC.
Right.
And so there's two main forms. You have full spectrum, all cannabinoids, and you have broad spectrum, usually THC free.
Usually THC free.
So those are the two forms. Give and go.
Give and go. And there's also, you might see some shops, some places selling CBD isolate where there's no other active cannabinoids. It's just CBD, which kind of has a little bit of perks, a little bit of downfalls on that, because a lot of studies show that CBD is actually more beneficial if paired alongside other cannabinoids, even with the THC, the legal amount, 0.3% THC alongside CBD has been shown to be a little more actively bioavailable and beneficial for the consumer. But lighting up the tree and those receptors, man, how you want to...
So we heard this amazing analogy from this very informative brand. They use the analogy of the receptors in your body would be like lights on a Christmas tree. The full spectrum, now I'll start with broads. The broad spectrum, which is the narrow, less cannabinoids, would be similar to looking at a Christmas tree that has like just the white colored bulbs, and there's maybe like 150, 200 in quantity. So it's lit, right? It looks cool. It's pretty.
It's cute.
And then we have full spectrum, which would be about 300 plus lights.
All colors.
Red, blue, green, yellow, white, all of the above, because the full spectrum has more of what is naturally occurring in the hemp,
Right.
which means it's less processed. And so it tends to light up the tree a little bit better, a little bit more. And that's typically where the majority, I would say the majority of studies that we've researched,
Yeah.
they're using the full
They
spectrum.
reference full spectrum. Yeah.
And honestly, I think we're both becoming somewhat of CBD snobs.
A little bit.
I personally prefer full
Yes.
spectrum now. I can
Same
tell
here.
a difference.
Same here, man.
So,
Really do.
if you're interested, if you're going to try it, which you might be, which is why you could be, watching this or listening to this, if you can, later on we're going to touch on legalities, but if you can lean towards full spectrum, I would try both so you can compare them.
Yeah.
We've tried both. We've tried so many freaking varieties, you name it. We've probably tried that type of CBD. So yeah, that's
like,
the light analogy. Christmas.
We need to
tree
touch on. I
analogy.
don't think we did mention about, checking with your employer.
Well,
We're
right.
not trying to scare people.
And here we go.
You know what I mean? It's like
Well, let's roll into it
the THC.
because that's the next key point.
It's the legal amount, right? We're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're not ingesting weed. You're not ingesting marijuana.
Right.
No psychoactive effects.
Right.
A lot of studies say that you would have to ingest very, very, very high amounts of CBD, like 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per serving,
Per serving.
just for
Right.
just for trace amounts to show up in the bloodstream.
Right.
But everyone's different. It's always a possibility. But jump into that legality about checking with your employers,
Yeah. So
state laws and regulations.
yeah, reminder, the reason you're going to see it everywhere is because at the federal, national level,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Thumbs up.
Federal government,
You're good to go.
thumbs up. However, that doesn't mean that you can take it because you need to check with your employer because your employer may not approve it.
Yes.
Most drug tests are urinalysis, UAs, and most UAs won't actually detect the
Right. Yeah.
the tiny trace amounts that are in there. However, there are separate tests.
There are separate tests. Can't reference the site or the study. I bookmarked it, but
We can add it to a link.
yeah, they mentioned how there are CBD drug tests,
Right.
which I don't know why they have. It's legal now.
It's legal.
But like you said, more from a state level.
Mm-hmm.
But CBD drug tests are more costly, more expensive, and
Right.
usually the employer doesn't want to pay that extra cost
Right.
to get that tested. They're only testing THC levels.
Right.
So, and at 0.3%, doing 10 to 30 milligrams a day,
Mm-hmm.
very, very hard for that to accumulate
Right.
and actually physically show up within the bloodstream.
Right. Very hard. And this would be another good time to remind you guys that we are not doctors. We are not physicians.
Nope.
Our employer approves us to take it.
Yeah.
So guess what? We take
Yeah.
it. We try it out.
As soon as we got that okay, we jumped on it.
And that's why we've been on it for probably 9-10 months now.
Yeah.
And we have tried a variety. And again, you're going to see it everywhere. You're probably checking this out because you want to try it. The most important thing to do is check with your employer. Well, what does that mean, right? So what that means, either take a picture of something that you want to try or just, mention it, because most all HR departments are probably going to know or have a standpoint, have a position
Right.
on CBD. So just go check with them, be like, hey, I'm considering trying this for blank. It could be any one of the reasons listed. I'm sure your job would prefer you to be more calm and collected.
Yeah. At the same time, you need to do some background information and research on the brands you're purchasing.
Correct.
You know
Correct.
what I mean? Reputable
Sourcing is a big
brands.
deal.
Yeah. Sourcing where they're getting the hemp from, the quality of it, organically grown, third party, lab tested,
Right.
all these different certifications and verifications that what's in the bottle and listed is what you're consuming.
Right.
We've seen a number of different articles saying that the THC levels were higher than
right.
what was listed.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a
and
big
that's
deal.
an issue. That,
Right.
Yeah, that's stepping
That's
out
an
of the
issue. Like
crossing the line.
yeah, like any CDL driver, right?
Those
Most
are the main ones.
most of these people, CDLs, they're not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole because
Nope.
they know not to even chance it.
Right.
Although,
This is drug trafficking.
right.
Yeah. Drug smuggling, whatever you want to
Oh
call
no,
it.
I'm talking about the drivers taking the supplement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were mentioning
no,
that
not
one.
yeah,
That one. Okay, my bad.
not transported. I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
It's a crazy
story.
lawsuit I stumbled upon.
Yep.
But the drivers that have CDLs, they won't mess with this because, well, most of them won't, just because they don't want to risk it, even though the risk is so minimal. You know what I mean? So they may want the benefits, like you may want the benefits, and in the future we can recommend other supplements that don't have these type of legality issues,
right?
Or these it's so fresh type of thing. We can mention other things that could help with stress, anxiety, sleep, and pain. We can mention other supplements later. This specific episode, we're just touching on, look, you're going to see CBD everywhere now, at least here in Texas.
Right.
All states that are approving it. And
it's like the highlight of 2019, right? So we're ending the year with the most talked about health supplement.
For sure. It is the craze. And long before some companies sold it, they were getting contacted and blown up like, hey, do you guys have it? Hey, do you guys have it? Hey, do you guys have it? Mm-hmm. And then finally, once it got pushed through, it was like, boom, floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And then companies are like, well, now that we're selling it, we need to let people know. And that's why you'll see the changed storefront signage.
Yeah.
And I just saw a new one yesterday. They
Really?
literally changed their sign in the last week or two because I kind of detect changes like on advertisements.
Okay.
And I was driving and all of a sudden it caught my eye and I looked and it was like they had removed the company's name or the huge logo.
Wow.
And it just said in huge green letters CBD, and then underneath it said sold here.
Dang.
CBD
man.
sold here. Oh,
it's like they don't even care about their business name.
Dude.
They're just like
total random. Sorry.
No,
down the
good.
street, there's a brand new CBD shop.
Dang, man.
We're
serious?
Yeah, we're gonna check it out pretty soon.
We gotta swing by and check.
Like they
spots
literally
out,
specialize in CBD stuff. So
wow.
we're gonna go in there and just kind of like
I saw one at the corner of 6 and I-10 right there by Topgolf.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah,
they're popping up, man. They're
That's
everywhere.
Sacred Leaf.
Sacred
so.
Leaf. Yeah. Sacred Leaf.
So.
Yeah. So I mean, getting into like ways to consume it in concentration. So we mentioned all these studies and articles. Mm-hmm. There are some like medicinal and clinically studied, very, very high concentrations, right? Where they're using it for like epileptic, seizures and episodes.
Right.
But they're doing, 400 to 500, 600 milligrams a day.
Right.
Which is high.
Really high.
Some companies, whenever you're, doing your research, going into these stores and shops, checking out what they have for sale, the bottle might say, 1,000 milligrams. Mm-hmm. The bottle might say 1,500 milligrams. Mm-hmm. That's not the concentration per serving, right? These companies are sneaky little guys, little devils.
Yep.
Need to reach out to them like, why? Why are you doing this to the consumers? A lot of people have that thought, just because of the packaging and the terminology. Yeah, I do 1,000 milligrams every day.
Right.
It's like, wow, really? Let me see which one you're taking. I was like, no, you have to actually go ahead and break down the math for them. How do you find out the dosaging?
Right. So like you mentioned, some companies they're posting the entire contents of the bottle on the front, and the average consumer, if they're not really inspecting it or they don't know what to look for, they're like, oh, it's 1,000 mil strength. Okay, cool. I take one a day. And so they'll come to a store and they'll see something that says 50. They're like, 50?
Super low.
Like, that's so weak. I've been taking 1,000. Yeah. Oh, really? And then, we might look at the bottle and be like, oh, you have to divide it by 30 servings or 20 servings. Yep. And that's your strength per dose. So I know that may sound like common sense to some, but it is very common to see people, getting confused, or they're thinking they're taking a really strong one and they're looking at one that has a much lower number. But these companies that are putting 10, 15, 20, 50, 30, whatever, they're listing the strength per serving, which is what you really need to know. Yeah. Okay, 1,000 in a bottle is cool, but you need to know how much is in the dropper that you're about to take. Mm-hmm. And then the cool thing with the dropper, that's probably my preferred and probably our recommended dose, is because you can moderate the dose and adjust it as needed. So you could do half, a third, more, 1.5, 3/4. Yeah. And then another misconception is some people think it's a single drop. Right. Is the strength. It's like, no.
Wish.
Yeah.
Like that little magic potion.
Yeah.
It goes drop.
Poof. Yeah. Unfortunately, that would be financially awesome for you.
Oh man, yeah, it's like a year's supply. Yeah. For $50.
Right. And you'll see probably the most common size you'll see is a 1 ounce bottle. So a 30 milliliter 1 ounce bottle. Mm-hmm.
For example, this is 50 milligrams per serving.
Yeah, 50 mil CBD per serving.
30 servings.
30 servings.
So 1,500 milligrams per bottle.
1,500 milligrams per bottle in this 1 ounce bottle. So
Yes.
this would be on par with one of the strong ones.
Yes.
Because 50 is in the higher range. I think some go up to like in the high 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and those are pricey.
They
You know
are.
what I mean, a lot of people looking to try it, we always recommend starting low.
Exactly.
Right? Start at 10 milligrams. It might run
Exactly.
you, $25 to $35 for a good brand.
Yep.
But yeah, there are some out there, 100 milligrams per serving. I think I saw one was like $260 for a 1 ounce bottle.
God, man.
It's like that's overwhelming to the consumer. It's
Right.
like, man, I don't want to try this. I don't know if it's going to work for me.
Right.
So we always
Right.
say, start low, see what you notice. You can always increase if need be. And even outside of the liquid tinctures, there's other ways to consume CBD. You have gummy options, edible chewables, infused inside food and drink beverages.
Drink. Now this drink, just real quick, this whole drink contains 15
Yeah.
milligrams of CBD. I got 3 sips because Sam was nice.
Yeah.
He got the other 28 sips that were in here. So
you may have got like 2 or 3 milligrams.
Very
if
low
that.
dose. So that's another thing to check too, is you'll see there's tons of products being marketed. They might be adding CBD. Always check to see how much you're getting per serving, per bottle, whatever.
Right.
And proceed at your own risk. We're just kind of letting you know what CBD is, where it's from,
benefits,
why it's all over the place,
all
and
the
then
hype.
it's popping up. Go ahead. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
you're good, man. I'm just piggybacking off of you.
Yeah. Go ahead and.
But other ways to consume. There's liquid soft gels. There are vape pens. So in terms of digestibility rates and how fast one might work, liquid tinctures, held under the tongue for about 30 to 60 seconds, usually can kick in within about 15 to 30 minutes. From what I've read online in different research articles, consuming like an actual pill, that has to be processed and broken down and metabolized through the digestive tract, might take closer to a little over an hour. Vape pens, a lot of speculation and talk recently on vaping, but it is all about quality. Vaping gets into the bronchioles and gets absorbed in the alveoli, in the respiratory system, then dispersed into the bloodstream. So that might hit a little bit faster if you're not skeptical to try vaping. CBD, high quality. I recommend CBD Distillery, my go-to brand. What's up, guys? But yeah, they have a really good brand, a lot of different naturally sweetened flavors, have that aftertaste, the aromatics as well, and it kicks in fast, man. It's like 10 to 15 minutes and I feel it. It's just like a big sigh of relief almost.
Yeah.
Like just if you have any negative tension or just long stressful day, it's just like instant.
Kick those bad vibes to the curb.
Out the door, get out of here.
Get on this herb.
So there's a lot of ways to try it. First, like we always mentioned, check with your employer. Check with your state regulations, and then do research on the companies before you venture out and buy something that could be horrible. You have a horrible bad experience because it's BS in a bottle. It's hemp seed. All these.
Yeah, and listen to testimonials. There
Yeah.
are bazillions of
trillions.
bazillions of reviews, feedback. So. Personally, you probably want to go with a brand that's been around for a while.
Yep.
We're not going to really drop a whole lot of name brands in this one. This is a general overview. You need to know what it is because you're going to see it.
Yeah.
And we're going to update with more in-depth facts, more in-depth research. But we love it. We use it almost daily. Like I'll probably say maybe
we both love it more preferred at nighttime.
Right, yeah.
We both have overactive minds. Our body wants to sleep, but our brain...
Just a side effect of being creative, man.
Yeah. Just nonstop. Just geniuses. What do you call... What's plural for genius, Adam?
Genius?
Genius.
Genius eye?
Genii.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
on our way. We're on our way, man.
So I think we touched on enough CBD, man. We're like 40 minutes in, so I hope y'all enjoyed everything that was covered. Real quick, the wrap up. Let's recap what just happened. If y'all just want a quick summary, if y'all just fast forwarded to the end, this is what we talked about.
This is the 4 major key points to take away from today's episode. 002, CBD, Sam D. What is it? What is CBD?
CBD, it is a cannabinoid. It is known as cannabidiol. We have an endocannabinoid system meant to receive.
Okay.
It is sold under terms like full spectrum and broad spectrum and or CBD isolate. And it's meant to interact and put our body at a homeostasis.
Okay.
Adam B., why are we seeing this anywhere and everywhere we go?
Well, anywhere and everywhere we go in Texas, we're seeing it all over because Greg Abbott approved it on June 10th, 2019.
I'm out.
Which was 6 months ago.
6 months, yep.
And so that's why you're going to see it everywhere here in Texas, and also probably wherever you're viewing from. There are some states that are loosening up their strictness.
Yeah, for the most part, it's nationwide.
Yeah.
Some places, I think I've read, it's only prescription only.
Right. There are certain ones.
Yeah, more medical use only.
So, and then another key point, why should you try it?
Why
or
should I
would you
try
want
this?
to?
Yeah. Who would benefit from this? So anxiety-related conditions is number one, right? So preventing those mood swings, irritability, nervousness, social anxiety, different things like that. Number two being insomnia, so chronic sleep conditions, trouble sleeping throughout the middle of the night, trouble winding down, staying asleep. Number three being in chronic pain, so people with neuropathy, arthritis, tension from working out, sore muscles, aches and pains. Just getting old, that wear and tear sucks, man. There's no
aging.
There's no holistic remedy for aging yet, or there's like healthy aging things. But and lastly, the legalities.
The legalities. As of now, ending 2019, federally, it is legal. The Farm Bill was passed in December of 2018. I believe it was presented. What, it was about 4.5 years prior?
Yeah, it was 2014 was presented, yeah.
Presented, finally went through Farm Bill 2018, and then locally here for Texas, Greg Abbott pushed it through June 10th. Yeah. So you need to check with your local state. I'm going to try to look up and see if we can find a link that has just each state and where they're at currently. Yeah. So you guys can just click on it and see see what your state can do. Right. Or see what you can do in your state, rather. And then again, the most important thing to ask before trying CBD, before you get into the brand and all that stuff, is check with your employer.
Yeah.
Please.
We're not trying to
That's
raise...
number one. We said it
we're
five times.
We're not out here trying to raise the unemployment rate.
No.
We want y'all...
No, we want you to be cool and level-headed.
Feed your families.
We want you to be homeostasis on and off the clock.
Homeostatic.
Yep. So yeah, guys.
CBD.
That's it for CBD.
That was a fun episode.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
So episode 2 is out of the way. What's episode 3 looking like, Adam B?
Oh,
episode 3 will be in January 2020, man.
We'll be in a new year,
a new decade.
The most popular phrase these past few years is "New Year, new you." So, shall I or shall you?
No, go ahead, man.
Okay, so
you hype me up. Like I'm ready to get this transition going.
Here's the cliffhanger. For the new year. So in the next few weeks, you will for sure see the next episode 003, which we are going to be discussing New Year, New You, but in a different way that you may or may not have heard before. It's definitely an alternative route. Okay, you ready? Whether you like it or not, you are a different person now than you were last year. True. Because of the cells that have replicated throughout the entire year. You are now looking at a different setup of cells than you were last year in the mirror.
Very true. Scary to look at.
But why?
But why?
But why and how? And what does that mean to me?
What's that mean to you, to me? What's that mean to you guys? 2020, it'll be a new year.
New year. Celebration. CELL.
Celebration.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that one. We're talking hitting it from all angles.
Yeah.
Detoxification.
Right. Talking about cells replicating.
Yep.
New you. Literally a new you.
We'll be some new 30-year-old young looking kids, hopefully, man.
I'll take that. I'll take the 30-year-old.
We're going back in time. We're taking it back like a time machine. Yep. Awesome. That was fun.
All right, bro.
CBD episode 2.
Thanks for everyone.
Like always, check out our Instagram, YouTube, 2 Scoops. I believe now we're live on our podcast.
What's
iTunes,
our Instagram name?
2 Scoops.
HTX.
H-Town.
YouTube is
2 Scoops. Just 2 Scoops.
Yep.
Number 2 podcast. We share the health like always. I think we're live on all platforms, Google and iTunes. I think we may be on Spotify. But we're excited to end the year and start the year off with a bang, man. Like always, Have a good day, and don't forget,
Share the health
as wealth.
All right, guys. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
God bless. Thanks for hanging out.
Woo!
See you next year.
Next year.